Chapter 45. Easy there. Is this your filly, then? Big words coming from a bronco without a horse. I'd say that would make you a bronco at all. I'm sure this filly would prefer me. Abel tensed his back. Galder looked at him. Abel? Enough. But Abel was beyond obedience at the moment. He grabbed the wolf boy by his furs, his hands double the size of any other man's, breathing heavy as he looked directly in the wolf boy's eyes. Everyone was watching. Leave her alone, he gritted out. I put my hand up to his arm. The veins were pulsing. Everyone around was still except the wolves growling, ready at a word to kill. Abel, let him go. We have to go meet the stallion. He wants to talk. Abel snorted like a raging bull and let the boy go, as the wolf boy smirked. Ah, then we are on the same path, as it were. I, too, am going to see this stallion of yours. I rolled my eyes. Thank goodness, fillies chose who they wanted, and it was respected. We all walked together, a little too close for comfort. Abel stood close to me, eyeing the wolf boy the whole way. When we reached the stallion's hut, Galder ushered us in. I saw him sit at the door. I could tell no one would be bothering this talk. The hut was dark. All but a candle was being held by the stallion. I see you have all made it. Please stay quiet for the moment. Moving his small table, he rolled up a rug underneath to reveal a sliding door. We looked at each other, but said nothing. He took his hand and silently told me to come to him. Taking my unicorn band, it unlocked, sliding open instantly without sound. He signaled for us to climb down into the darkness. Quietly, we went down a ladder, one after another. The stallion went down last, and the door closed behind us. We could hear dirt being kicked above us and the scooching of furniture. It's only Galder, the stallion whispered. We walked behind his lit candle down a deep hallway till he pushed a lever. With it, a humming sound started, lights began to blink on, and a door behind us closed us off. As the room was lit, there was a large table around it with 9 sitting, with 10, 11, 12th, and 13th chairs empty. I looked at the strange faces. The deer clan adorned themselves in antlers. All their faces seemed marked by pox, all women. The wolves glared with their crazy eyes. The sea people, 2 women and a man, who seemed more like a human. They painted their hair teals and blues. 3 from each tribe sat in the seats. The wolf boy joined his clan. I found out later that was the leader's son. It made sense with his attitude. Then there was 1 chair left empty, the 13th. The stallion sat down. Please sit, you 2. There is much to be said and done this day. The others agreed. Sorry I'm late, father. A voice came from a side tunnel. It was my brother. Come sit, my son. My brother sat in the 13th chair. As Abel, knowing his place, stayed standing quietly, now we can begin. As you know, over the years more and more have been chosen to go back to Harlts from all around tribes. He even took my daughter Lavender. The meeting is only held every 10 years by Harlt's instruction to keep our numbers from growing out of control, but in his choice is a weakness till the full moon. The elders of all the tribes must allow the meeting to happen without interference, so I believe now is the time to act. The wolves' leader snorted. Act now, because why? Your little girl was taken, though pretty she was. I will admit if there's a chance in saving her, I shall do so myself, but haven't we all lost many to Harlts? Don't we all agree we want this to stop? And how do you plan on doing that? The leader of the wolves snapped. Easy, Alpha, the deer clan leader stood. I think we all want this to end one way or another. That is why the deer clan gifted the bufotoxin. A sea woman stood. That's very well and good, but without our tetrodotoxin, none of this could have worked, Tai-ho. We all know you did your part, mermaid. The point is now what is to be done. The stallion looked at the table, arguing back and forth. I had no idea what any of these strange words were, but did the stallion actually mean he would try to save Lavender if she was still alive? And why does the horse clan take a 4th chair? Alpha yelled, impatient for an answer. The boy I took as my son long ago, he is of the herd in all ways, better than most. The chair is not his to keep, but we all should have a voice and ears this day. But he came to us in a way that had never been allowed, so he was studied and watched. I believe he will be of great use to stopping Harlts. Now, Vita, will you start from the beginning? Anything and everything you can remember of your past in your first home may help us stop Harlts and possibly help Lavender and the others that were taken.